Hey, what is going on, guys? DK. Back at you at the end of the video here to bring the final two-game Olympic basketball slate of the year. We have the gold medal match and the bronze medal match. I cannot wait to watch these games. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name is DK. I make daily videos and live stream for NBA and NFL slates on Draftkings. The first NFL preseason game slate of the year went really well for us. Again, if you're interested in playing preseason, there's definitely an edge. I'll have videos as well as live streams for basically every single slate. Just did a Patreon live stream today because I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. But yeah, it went really well for us. Rolled with the defenses. Dobbs, Keelan Balaj got in that zone. So again, if you guys are interested in that, I'll have videos for the preseason. If you are interested in signing up for premium content, offer that on patreon.com. 3 different packages. So NFL package, again, including preseason. We'll have next week, there's slates Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's going to be a ton of slates. I offer an NBA package that includes Olympic basketball and Summer League, which starts up in only a couple days here, and an esports package that includes Call of Duty and CSGO. And if you want everything combined, you can sign up for the gold package, which is, again, everything. Link down below. I do want to thank Prize Picks for sponsoring this episode. So, 2 different ways you can play Prize Picks. Number 1, you take over/under on straight-up fancy points. Number 2, you take over/under on straight-up points, assists, rebounds. So right now, they don't have the Olympic basketball stuff for men out yet. I expect that to be probably posted early tomorrow. So just be on the lookout for that one. But yeah, I like Prize Picks, guys. It's a nice change of pace, and they literally have everything. They have Summer League. Again, we hit on all of our preseason NFL props. I hit 4 for 4 today. So I really like it because it's just a change of pace. You're not playing against someone, you're playing against the house. And again, every single sport you can think of, you can mix and match sports with college football, golf, literally everything. So if you guys want to try it out, you can sign up, use the code DKDFS, all one word. I'll have a link down below. You'll get a free $100 if you deposit $100 using my code. Basically, 100% match up to $100. And finally, I just want to thank you guys again for all of your support on the Olympic basketball videos, the NFL videos, the Top Shot videos, the PGA videos. Really do appreciate each and every one of you. Closing in on the 10,000 subscriber mark, guys. So if you're watching these videos and not subscribed, make sure to hit that big subscribe button. About half the people, again, watching these are not subscribed. And also hit the like button if you do enjoy. Let's try to aim for 100 likes on this video. And make sure to hit the notification bell too, because I will be doing a YouTube live stream tomorrow to go over everything, answer any questions you guys have, more of a general Q&A style. So, all right, before we get into players and their prices for this final 2-game slate, we can look back line up here from the last 2 gamers. So Australia pulling the plug early. Oh, man, I was so tilted about that last night. Watched that game. I literally could not believe my eyes. The announcers were shocked. All the starters. So, I mean, obviously they had a very slim chance of winning that game. But 20 points with 4.5 minutes left, and the starters get pulled. Yes, there's a very slim chance of winning, but you hit back-to-back threes, you're right back in the game, right? I couldn't believe my eyes because I had a low-owned Patty Mills, and him losing the last 4 minutes there was absolutely massive. So, yeah, I was so upset about that. I literally couldn't believe it. Can't believe that the Australian coach pulled him that early. That made 0 sense. So, yep, I was very tilted about that. I won't lie. But yeah, going over the rest of my lineup. So, Jacob Blasic was solid at low ownership. Kind of just fit as my last piece in. Kevin Durant, again, forward was weak. I used him and Nick Batum. Nick Batum with that big block at the end. He kind of came back down to earth a little bit. Obviously, that last game was a little bit of an outlier in the positive direction. Yabusele was the chalk. Again, not because he's a great play, just because he was really the only viable play at power forward unless you wanted to overpay for Draymond Green. I used the combo, again, of Nicholas K and Landell. Now, my worry was that they might lose a couple minutes or become a little bit less effective against that small ball USA team. That was true, right? They didn't play as well against USA. And then finished off with Hurdle for value was decent for 15.5 fancy points. But yeah, Luka went for 64. Again, if Patty Mills plays those last 4 minutes and goes for close to 50, then I would have gotten away with Luka Fade. It would have been the cash. But starters getting pulled early. I was not too happy about that one. So let's talk about this 2-game again. Just missed the cash in the GPPs. Hope you guys had a good night. And yeah, let's talk about this one. So USA and France is the gold medal match. USA are minus 900 favorites. And Australia versus Slovenia. Slovenia are minus 130 favorites here in the bronze medal match. I feel like the bronze medal match should be played first. I don't know. Kind of weird that they're playing the gold medal match first then the bronze medal game, but whatever. So we'll start off with the USA side. And yeah, Kevin Durant, once again, one of my favorite plays at 10.1K. Only played 30 minutes last game. Don't be super worried about that. He didn't play a ton in the second half because the game got out of hand. USA really took over. Now, in games that are closer, they fall behind. Like the first half, when they were playing from behind, Durant played a majority of the first half. So if France is playing from the lead or this game is really close, I expect Durant to play 35-plus minutes. And again, forward being weak, KD is one of my favorite spin-ups on the slate. Don't think we have to spend a ton of time here. There's just no way I can get to Dame right now. And the minutes are just trending down. Since Booker and Jrue Holiday have joined the team, he really hasn't taken over. He hit a couple big games in the preliminary games, but I guess he had one solid game there against Iran, but that wasn't a massive blowout. I just can't pay 9-7 for Dame, right? He's just close in price to Patty Mills, too close in price to Kevin Durant. Like, give me Fournier de Colo for cheaper. It doesn't make sense to get to Dame at that price. Now, Jrue Holiday, Zach LaVine, Devin Booker, expect all these guys to play over 20 minutes. Jrue Holiday is a key member of this team. Like, he is their best defender, and they're going to use him to probably to guard Fournier and De Colo. He played 29 minutes, and he's a guy that can stuff his stat sheet. Had 8 assists and 8 boards. I think it's a little bit more of an outlier from Jrue Holiday. I don't think he goes for 8 assists and 8 boards again, but I think he plays mid to high 20s minutes. So, is Jrue Holiday a guy I love at this price? No, but I think he's at least in play. I do. Zach LaVine, in the other hand, at 8-1, I feel is a little bit too pricey. Going to come off the bench, going to shoot the ball, but a little more light into scoring. I would rather play Jrue Holiday, similar price. Tatum feels a little bit too pricey too at 7-9. Going to come off the bench and maybe play 15 to 20 minutes. I'll pass there. Devin Booker is viable too. He's played 26 and 28 minutes last couple of games. So really starting to turn it on. He's been shooting better. Booker at that price I think is playable, and Jrue Holiday I think is playable. Other than that, though, there's not a ton else I like for USA. Like Draymond Green, again, power forward, there's 4 guys and only 2 are playable. Like, yes, you can overpay for Draymond to make your lineup different and hope for a ceiling game, but he's really not going to do much on the offensive end. Bam to buy out 6'4", I'm kind of just fine with, I guess. Feels a little bit overpriced. Did only play 14 minutes last game, a little bit worrisome. Now, this is a bigger team against France. The first game against France, he played 25 minutes, so maybe against Gobert, he plays a couple extra minutes. Middleton at 5'6", so he's been playing around 20 minutes on the bench. Then we have 15 to 20 minutes. I actually think he is viable, right? He's cheap enough where can he get it done in 15 to 20 minutes? Yeah. Again, a little more contrarian, but I think he's at least someone you could look to. Grant, McGee, Keldon probably don't play unless this game turns into a blowout. So really USA side for me, it's KD at the top that I like a lot. I think a little bit of interesting guys like Jrue, Booker, Bam, and Middleton. I'm moving on to France. So France, Rudy Gobert, back-to-back really solid games, 36 and 43 fantasy points. Am I okay with Gobert? Yeah. I still don't necessarily trust this production. His first game against the USA, played 29 minutes for 26 fantasy points. Again, Gobert, I'm just worried. We saw it in the Clippers series, right? He struggles against small ball teams. The USA wants to go small, so I'm just a little bit worried about Gobert. Yes, he's had a couple of good games recently, but I'm worried with the small ball that he might lose a couple of minutes. Now, Fournier, De Colo for France are going to be their top options in offense. So Evan Fournier should play 35-ish minutes. He did get in foul trouble, fouled out actually last game in 28 minutes. So don't be super worried about it. I think he plays about 35. He'll be their clear go-to guy. Now, he's lacking a little bit in the peripheral stats, but he is going to be their top option on offense. De Colo, I mentioned, I was like, hey, he had a terrible game last game. No one's going to play him. Kind of like him as a low-owned GPP play, and he bounced back in a big way. 32 minutes, 41 fantasy points. So I think in a competitive game, more often than not, he's going to get 25 to 30 minutes, and he's a good point per guy. A guy that can stuff his stat sheet. He had 5 assists, 7 boards, 7 assists, 4 boards, 5 assists, 5 boards, 8 assists, right? He's really a guy that can kind of do it all. So am I prioritizing De Colo? No, but we've seen the upside, and I do think he probably plays close to 30 minutes in this game. Well, Nick Batum was the chalk of the chalk. Kind of had just a subpar game after the massive 49 fantasy point game. The positive here, though, is the minutes, right? 33, 38 minutes. If he's going to play about 35 minutes, I do think he's a pretty safe play. Now, I wouldn't expect 49. Again, if we get about 35 minutes from Nick Batum, I think we can expect somewhere in that 25 to 30 fantasy point range, which is pretty good. So I think Batum is a pretty safe play. Again, good defender. As long as there's no foul trouble, he should play some big minutes. Couple other guys I want to mention here for France. So TLC at 4.8K, been playing around 20 minutes off the bench. Hasn't been the best point per guy, but has gone for 19, 27, and 26 fantasy points 3 of the last 4 games. He is sub 5K, so I do have some interest there in TLC. I think Hurdle at 4.7 is a fine value play. 25, 20, 17, and 15 minutes the last 4 games. If DeColo struggles, he could play a little bit more, right? We've seen a couple games where Hurdle's played a little bit more. So I would not play Hurdle and DeColo together, right? There's definitely not going to be on the court for a ton together. If you're playing DeColo, I wouldn't play Hurdle. If you're fading DeColo, then yeah, maybe you can roll the dice on Hurdle and hope he plays a little bit more. Because Hurdle's a guy, also like DeColo, he'll be productive when he's out there and he can stuff the stat sheet. So a little bit of interest there. Poirier, I think, got a DNP last game. Yeah, he did not play the last one. Neil Aquina's barely going to play. So Yabusele is going to be the chalk just because – let's just go to power forward really quick, right? There's only four guys, and 2 are that are going to play. So Draymond will play probably 15 to 20 minutes on the bench. So by default, again, Yabusele is once again just going to be the chalk. He hasn't really been the best point per dollar play, but he's – going to start most likely and play. He played 18 minutes the first game against the United States. So, yeah, got to have interest in Yabusele for that reason. And that is it for France. So let's finish it up with the last game here, the bronze medal game, Australia and Slovenia. Patty Mills at 10-8, I like as a contrarian spend up. He had a really bad start to that game, bad first half. I think he shot 1 of 6, 1 of 7. Bounced back in a big way the second half and also lost minutes. So, Mills is going to be productive when he's out there. I don't think he's going to be super popular. I think the chalk build is probably going to be KD and Luka. But I don't hate going to Patty Mills to get different. Again, if this game stays competitive, there's no foul trouble. He should play about 35 minutes. So do have some interest there in Patty Mills. Like him as a contrarian spend up. Ingles and Thibault, it's just hard to get to either. Ingles had a really bad game last game. Most of the time, he's going to play around 30 minutes and probably get mid-20s fantasy points. But I don't know if that's going to be enough at 8-2. Again, Thibault off the bench, only played 22 minutes. I thought there was a chance he'd play a little bit more. He did not. So those 2 guys just feel a little bit overpriced. Back to Kay and Landell. So they both kind of had off games last game against the United States. Again, the USA goes small. Slovenia is a little bit of a bigger team. Toby's going to play big minutes. So I think Kay and Landell both match up a little bit better here against the Slovenia team. I think both play 25 to 30 minutes. And both are fair plays at 5.9 and 5.5K. I think, besides the last game against the United States, both these guys have been consistent. 28, 29, 29, 29 fantasy points for K. Landell, again, this game he got in foul trouble. Other than that, 33, 29, 34. They'll feed him in the post too at times. He's productive, a good, back down post up player. So and he just got signed for the Spurs as well. So yeah, once again, I have interest in Kay and Landell. Do you have to play these guys both together? No, but I think they both look like good point per dollar plays. A couple of the guys we had to talk about here: Dante Exum at 5.1K should play about 20 minutes off the bench. Now, he did kind of get banged up a little bit with his hip, so keep an eye on it. I expect him to play, and if he is available, I expect around 20 minutes. Again, he's gone for basically 20 fantasy points in 4 of the last 5 games, so definitely a fair play at a shooting guard position that's pretty weak. Dellavedova, hard for me to prioritize him. He'll probably start and play around 15 minutes. It's just he hasn't been productive enough for me to go there. Again, don't play Aaron Baines. He is out. I did mention Chris Goulding. Now, I talked about this in the Patreon live stream especially. I was like, hey, if you're playing Luka Doncic, you're probably going to have to play Goulding at the shooting guard position. I know a couple of you guys, Patreon members, went the other way. They went to Luka. I ended up with Goulding. Now, the only reason I talked about it was because, hey, Goulding's probably going to play 5 to 8 minutes. Now, luckily, he got really hot, and also the game blew out, so he played a little bit more. He played 20 minutes. Now, are we going to get 20 minutes again from Chris Goulding? No. But he's a good shooter, so I would think he at least gets a couple shifts, maybe close to 10 minutes. So risky play for sure. If he's not knocking down his threes, he's probably not going to get you fancy points, but I thought I'd mention that because he is very, very cheap. All right, so let's finish up with the Slovenia side, and Luka Doncic at the top at 13.5K. Once again, was very popular. He went for 64 fantasy points, 16, 10, and 18. Just crazy. Played 37 minutes. He's going to play massive minutes here once again, so a scary fade for sure. Gotta really like Luka Doncic, even at that price. Now, Mike Tobey, I kind of like his contrarian spend up. Again, it's the two-man game with him and Luka. He's going to play over 30 minutes, 33, 33, 32 the last 3 games. He's productive when he's out there. Basically going to get you double-digit rebounds or close to it. He's a good scorer. I like Mike Tobey. I think he's going to be low owned again because not a lot of people are going to play Luka and Doncic, or I should say Tobey and Doncic together. So, Tobey, I kind of like his contrarian play. Can't Shower feels a little bit too pricey. I know he played big minutes. Last game, 35, but just feels, again, a little bit overpriced. Now, these shooting guards, Dragic, Prepelic, and Blazic, again, I warn people not to chase Zoran Dragic. Now, he did get in foul trouble, obviously, but, again, he shot lights out those 2 games, 10 of 13, 11 of 13. What I'm going to say with these guys, with Dragic, Prepelic, and Blazic, one of these guys is probably going to have a good game. Good luck trying to figure out which one's going to be. And all 3 probably a little bit overpriced. Like Dragic at 7.7. I just don't want to use one of my spend ups here. Prepelic at 7K, high usage guy off the bench. Again, though, hard to prioritize that price. And Jacob Blazic played 31 minutes, again, partly due to some Zoran Dragic foul trouble. I guess my preferred one would be Blazic, and he's the cheapest, but really it's hard for me to prioritize these Slovenia shooting guards. Ido Miric barely played last game, not much interest there. Ziga Dimic if you want to punt center, but he's only going to play 7 to 8 minutes. And then last guy I'll mention is Nikolic, not because I want to play him, but because he is min price and he should be in the rotation. He played 9 minutes there against France, 12 against Germany, 8 in a close game against Spain. So I would think he gets a shift or 2. Again, he's not been good, 4, 6, 5, 2, and 0 fancy points. But he is the min price, and I expect him to at least play in a competitive game. So that is going to do it for the Olympic basketball, the final Olympic basketball slate of the year, guys. Thanks again. I hope you guys all have a great night, and I will see you all tomorrow in the live stream.